We are using imagination to access the higher reality that we
Mhm.
cannot perceive through senses. Is that the right way to look at the role of imagination in our life?
We can use imagination as a mechanism to counter our biologically or culturally doomed mind, because even the escape is something we need to imagine. And then that is how imagination, the liberation texts are using imagination as telling you the world is imagination. You can always say the world is not imagination, fine, but what if the world is not imagination and I'm still considering it as imagination? What will that do is it will help me be indifferent to the world. The factuality of the world has nothing to do with you thinking the world is imagination. Because when you start thinking the world is imagination, it starts making you not as much obsessive of the things in the world as it otherwise could. So there is still how we can use imagination for higher self-realization processes is still relevant, whether or not everything imagination is. And at the end you are using, because as I said, I would rather like to use imagination as a capacity of the mind for creating a reality that I want than just to talk about the factuality of imagination. So that type of creative capacity of imagination lies also in our self-liberating efforts. We can use imagination just the same way, and to free from our own ghosts. There is this beautiful story from Bengal. Do I have any friend from Bengal here? Bengal area, claim Bengal. Bengal is the greatest place to claim. From yeah, there was a guy called I think this story I may have mixed up though, Naropa, and he had a student coming from Tibet, Marpa, to learn tantra from him. And this Marpa has so little insight, analytical knowledge, because he was just a cowherd boy, and doesn't cannot process deep ideas. And one day Naropa is like thinks, okay, this kid is not going to get any teaching. I'm gonna teach him directly now. Okay, Marpa, think of your head, growing horns on your head, and then he just goes out. When later comes back to the cave, and then knocks the door. Marpa, open the door. Master, I cannot even move. What do you mean you cannot move? Oh, my horns block the wall, and I cannot even move my head. You see, this he had such a strong power of imagination for the horns that he was used to. You don't need to do deep philosophy. Now, Naropa says, okay, now then why not you start shrinking the size of the horns and keep shrinking it, and then at the end, and Master, I don't have horns anymore. But why not you just also shrink your body and let it go? It's also imagination, like just let it go. The body, the mental body, even if you have the physical body, the body given to your mind is not that same physical body. Otherwise, you should never go to the doctor to know what is happening in your body. Your body is not transparent to your mind. You think it is, but it is not. So therefore, you are imagining a body even now. Whenever you think, I'm not imagining, it's real. That is your imagination. Otherwise, if you are having a real access to your body, you should not go for X-ray, or whatever, all the things. We don't have the knowledge of the real body. So the clinical body. We have the knowledge of the imagined body. We are used to this. That is why it feels very real. So anyway, going back to Marpa, now he says, Marpa, Master, I see all empty. Okay, good. You are enlightened. This is all enlightenment is. Your body, you had just imagined your body. Okay, now come open the door. Job done. So enlightenment is a process of liberating from all the fantasies. And if you can use one more fantasy to counter all the fantasies, so be it.
That is very illuminating, very interesting to hear. So our basic assumption is that this world is Maya. So you need a bigger imagination to come out of this Maya.
Yeah. we are so used to this, and it doesn't feel right to say Maya, and so therefore, and we are creating more and more and more other fantasies, stacking on top of this fantasy, and so you want to walk out of it, then you have to better use imagination for even walking out of it.